All right, guys, welcome to another amazing reaction here. Today, I have a very special video in front of us. This is the very first ever recorded speedrun of Spyro the Dragon 120%. This was by James Bertoli back in 2007. One of the first years of YouTube existing, this run was posted. So without further ado, let's get into it. Let's enjoy and let's fucking party. I will turn it down a little bit. And yeah, so just some historical context for you guys. This run happened in an era before leaderboards even existed for this game. So basically, it's pretty badass. Also, you'll notice I have my Spyro up here who's also watching alongside us. So yeah, if you like the cute Spyro watching alongside, then you know, post a cute emo in the chat. Now, let's just acknowledge the elephant in the room. The video quality on this is fucking ass, all right? This is some bad, like, this is some, like, 140p YouTube 4x3 squeezed era of video nonsense, but it doesn't look too bad on the stream, but I'm watching on, like, the full screen right now, and it looks pretty bad, so... Without further ado, let's kick back. Let's see what's going on here. So right off the bat, oh geez, I just smacked my table. Right off the bat, he decides to go to Dark Hollow instead of Sunny Flight. One of the first routing things that was sort of came up with in this game was to go to Sunny Flight first. Yeah, the quality does add authenticity, I agree. By the way, if you're watching on YouTube, I'm live streaming this on my Twitch, so if you're not following my Twitch, it's down below in the description. But yeah, so normally we would go to Sunny Flight first. It just makes the most sense no matter what route you do, so it's definitely very, you can tell this was during a creative era of routing. Kind of cool that he just ran off the edge there. He is thinking a little, you can tell he's thinking a little bit about movement optimization. The flame into the jump. Okay, so one important thing to note is that this was, I think this run was recorded before flame charging was known about. I think he tried to jump up that. Did you see that? So yeah, you're gonna notice that whenever he flames something, he doesn't try to immediately charge into it, which would cause a gem to home in. He's probably gonna go for a lot of flames and then short hops to jump and grab the gems. Really awkward routing here to kill these enemies, but you know, he's just free. You gotta remember, he's just freestyling it, you know? Like, he made this route himself, essentially. This quality is killing me. Can I turn it up anymore? 240p, and nothing more than that, son. Nothing more than the 240p. Another thing about this run is that it was split into 10-minute segments. There is a full unsegmented video link that Flazuki has somewhere, but as far as I know, I mean, it's not on YouTube. So here he's doing such an interesting route because it's widely known now that you can jump back from these platforms, like this platform he's about to go to the left. You could just jump back to the left and just wall glide. But this is probably before he knew what wall glides were. In fact, this is before he probably even knew what a charge glide was. Think about that. Like, to get back to those stairs there, he's just, most of you casual players on YouTube, don't take offense to this, but you know, you'll just jump and then press X in the air to glide, but that's suboptimal in speedrunning. You want to charge slightly before the glide, and so that was likely not known about. But what is smart that he did was check his gem count right there. This is probably something we're going to see in every level. You know, it takes a moment for the gem counter to click up in the top left, so if you pause, you can see how many gems you have right away. Another thing worth noting is that this is probably done on a PS1 without fast disk speed enabled, just judging by the capture quality. If this were on emulator, it probably wouldn't be. You know, emulators were like a rough business back in 2007. They're easier to get your hands on now, but I reckon this was probably done. I don't know this for a fact or not, but I reckon this was probably done on PS1. He's literally doing them out of order. Does this work? Oh, that does work. I thought you had to do them... I'm a dumbass. I thought you had to do them either counterclockwise or clockwise, but he did them in a zigzag. So I just learned something there. Yeah, you could do them in any order. I literally thought, because seriously, sometimes you'll jump on all of them and it won't activate. So I thought that's why. But I guess that's not why. Another interesting thing here, this is, I would definitely see this being a casual strat. I remember when I was a kid playing this game, I would do this, where I'd go into this treasure chest area early, but in actual speedrun routing, it makes way more sense to do this area last, because that's where all of the collectibles lead to. So now he's probably gonna go left, and so he's basically doing the whole level backwards compared to how we do it nowadays. Yeah, we're learning from the past, slowly but surely. Anyways, I just want to brag real quick. I'm not sure if this video will have been posted before or after what I'm about to talk about, but either way, I just completed my first ever 120% early loot speedrun. Oh, he's about to do the planes right now. See how many attempts on this he does. Yeah, he's like thinking like, okay, where do I go? Where do I go? You can tell by the movement. He's like, I don't know where to go. Nowadays, we have such advanced like plane manipulation strategies. He should have grabbed the train there. This is gonna be awkward. Or no, actually, smart. Dude, he's got to turn around for that fucking plane. You know he's thinking about that plane. Yeah, there he goes. Hey, smart on-the-fly routing, though. Yeah, the turnaround. But yeah, I just completed my first ever early loot speedrun of this game. So, to those of you who've been following along with the saga, early loot was just found. At the time of this recording, like, my first ever, I'm the second person to ever complete a run of 120% early loot, skipping over like 29 dragons and 7 eggs. I didn't end up skipping that many because my muscle memory makes me get them by accident a lot. It's like harder for me to avoid the dragons than it is for me to just automatically get them, you know? With how much I've played this game. Well, he did get that guy normally. So there's something normal. But yeah, very, very unorthodox level routing here. To do Dark Hollow, then Sunny, then Stonehill. You'll basically never see a modern speed, even a speedrun of this from like 2013. You'll never see this kind of route. Okay, he's going right to left, so I'm guessing he's gonna clean up this room to the left first. Again, this is a bad idea because it is fastest to either end the level here or in the key chest area. So we'll see if he opts to end the level in the key chest area. Now, I wonder if he knows that touching dragons on certain spots is quicker for the animation. It seems like he was maybe trying to touch the dragon optimally there and failed. We'll have to kind of assess it with more dragon touches. Even if he does know that that's a thing, I doubt that it's something he's really optimizing that well. But I'll be able to tell with more dragons that he touches whether that's something he's going for or not. You got pizza? Dude, I have one more piece of pizza sitting in the fridge right now, which I kind of want to eat. I might go get that shit real quick, honestly. Guys, should I go get the slice of pizza? So he did touch this dragon on the right spot. But notice that he did flame the chest and then jump for the gem. Instead of flame. You guys are saying do it? Yeah, he's gonna end here in this key. Alright, I'll grab it real quick. One sec. Okay, unsurprisingly, Sarah ate the pizza. I left that slice for her anyway, so it's all good. But damn, that pizza was fucking delicious. Like, I had an edible last night, and like, we had already cooked like a really nice dinner, like a nice shrimp stir fry with broccoli and stuff, but I didn't make a lot of it. So like, by a few hours after that, like, we were kind of hungry again. And so it was like, okay, like, let's order a pizza. You know, we've been cooking at home a lot. By the way, quick update about, like, my life real quick. Oh, man, he's not even ending on the key chest. He's ending on, like, some random shit. But quick update about my life. I don't know if a lot of you guys seen the life update video that I made. Basically, the TLDR is that I'm trying to cook at home more, drink less, as in don't drink on stream at all, which I got my water right here. I've been doing a good job of that. And the third thing was, I forgot what the third thing was. Oh, exercise. So exercising I haven't been doing a great job of, but I have been going for morning walks every morning. I go for a walk every morning, which is better than nothing, you know. I may not be breaking a sweat, but hey, I'll take that, right? Been drinking less, only like 1 beer a night. Now, granted, during St. Patty's Day, I had a little bit too much, you know, but we were out with friends and they made like a big basil smash. It was fucking delicious. It was worth. You know, just not consistently drinking like a bunch on stream and just deteriorating into my computer chair like during RuneScape hours. So I'm happy to have cut that out. And so yeah, so I'm doing good in the sense of just generally living like healthier now that I'm here in Virginia. But you know, obviously there's always more work to be done. I really got to start to incorporate more both aerobic and anaerobic exercise. I think I'm gonna have to put together, not have to, but I think I want to put together a skateboard. You know, buy all the parts on Amazon. That's gonna cost like $100. Been spending a bunch of money lately, as you guys can imagine, with moving into a new apartment. So yeah. Okay, and here we are at part 2. As you can see, the little splice right here. I should have put on the timer, but yeah, this run is roughly, I believe, like around 2.5 hours, somewhere between 2 and 2.5 hours. So just for reference. But yeah, he is out of Stonehill. Collecting everything reasonably decently for like the first run ever done. Again, this is the first speedrun ever done in this game. This is before there was like any Twitch. This is before there were any leaderboards even. And I'm not talking about speedrun.com. I'm talking about like, we used to have a Google document as the leaderboards back when I started speedrunning this for like a couple years. And you know, runs like this weren't even on there. James Bertoli's run was never on there, ominously. I'm not really sure why, because apparently there is a full single segment version of it. If anyone has any insight in that, feel free to let me know. Is this run cheated? I got my eye on you, James. But yeah, like a little aside about James Bertoli, not a lot is known about the guy. He's not active in any like Spyro speedrunning anything. He just like posted this run. I think he has like some runs of some other games on his channel, but his channel hasn't posted, I don't think, for like a number of years. So he's a pretty inactive user, and I've never personally met the guy myself. Though there are other runners from like, you know, just like around this pre-Twitch era that are still somewhat around, like Reese and Crash 4156 and Spyro Jam, so, you know. So it is cool to see that people from the pre-Twitch era still, like, at least, you know, exist online still. But James Bertoli is an enigma. He doesn't really seem to have a presence online anymore. But that doesn't mean his legacy will ever be forgotten as the first ever recorded 120% speedrun. He's doing this shit way out of order. That's fine. Let's see if he goes for a stair jump here. No, he's gonna go to the top of the stairs first. Oh, but he didn't go on top of the ledge. Hey, little optimizations, my friends, even back in 2007. And he is hitting a nice quick kill on the thief. Now, it wasn't like the actual animation skip, but it is what you'd like to see for a run of this caliber. He's being, and I respect that he's just being careful in that spot, because it is easy to die if you're trying to go too fast. Again, notice he's not charge gliding. The glides like have like a little bit of extra stall like in the air before they like happen. If he just does a full hop and then glide, it kind of like is slow. So you can pay attention to that, because that is different than pretty much any other speedrun you'll see. We always hit square for just a moment before a full hop glide, called charge gliding. Doing this way out of order. You're supposed to go around the... You know, I keep saying you're supposed to do this, you're supposed to do that, but... You know, there is no... You gotta remember, for James, there was no you're supposed to do this. Like, there was no way for him to know. Who the fuck is he gonna ask? He certainly just made this route all on his own. Checking the gem count again before the final dragon. Very smart. Now, is he gonna exit? He already exited through the vortex on Dark Hollow, so now he's probably gonna go back to Toasty. If he hasn't completed Toasty yet, so normally here we would do a wall glide to get to Toasty from behind, but since he's not doing that, he had to have exited a exit level vortex, leaving these gems for after the level. Very smart. I remember doing this routing back when I first learned the game. Of course, you know, the level order is all out of whack, but yeah. So now, because he exited the vortex in Dark Hollow, now the head will open here to Toasty. Again, in modern runs like my own, you'll see me just go from behind, not requiring that. But there's the head. Yeah, it's really annoying because with that dragon, he doesn't like explain. The dragon doesn't explain to you that you're supposed to go through an exit level vortex. He just says you must complete one of the other artisan's levels, which is not like specific enough. You know, so a lot of kids, like, shoutouts to anyone listening to this who like was confused there, like, why isn't the head opening? I like you can 100% another level, like every other level, without going through an exit level vortex and still be stuck outside of Toasty. So if that happened to you, you know, let me know in the comments down below. I feel your pain. It's not your fault. I'm here to tell you 20 years later that that wasn't your fault. he's taking it extra slow with these dogs, which I respect. And by the way, this is the route that I do nowadays. There is another route you can do, but it's basically the same. Okay, now he's kind of going a little... He's playing extra safe with the enemies, but this is the basic general route that I do. Chat a little tighter here so you guys can read. Oops, there we go. There's Nevin there. Yeah, you've always wondered. Yeah, it's always like one of those things. It's one of those aha moments. It's like, oh, the fucking vortex. It's the same thing outside of Twilight Harbor as well. You have to touch the dragon outside of Twilight Harbor and go through the Nork Cove vortex in order to open Twilight Harbor. Fun fact, it's actually the same dragon head. It's like literally the same like model and everything, like copied over in the code. The only dragon head in Nork Nexus that isn't a carbon copy of the Toasty head with a different color is Nasty Nork himself. Which is particularly convenient because that's what allows tricks like Coveless to be possible, is the fact that that is the only dragon head that lacks collision on the top. The only unique dragon head. I mean, that's why it took like fucking like a decade to find early loot, is because it's like that dragon head is comparatively like completely solid compared to Nasty Norks. So it's truly a miracle that it was possible to even do early loot without it being like hacked in or whatever. But we are out of artisans, man, and I don't have my timer up here, but I can only assume this was like maybe 15, 16 minutes, maybe 20. Definitely losing some time. Also, you'll notice that the load times, I mentioned this earlier, but the load times are a little slower here. I'm assuming that he's probably playing on a PS1, or if he's on PS2, there's no fast disk speed enabled. You probably did not know that that increases load times. I'm guessing that this wasn't done on emulator, considering that it is in 4x3, and the quality is pretty low. Like if it were on emulator, even the thing is, emulators in 2007 are not like emulators like nowadays. Like I'm not even sure if it was even possible to like have a decent PS2 emulator back then, or PS1 emulator back then. And you know, I will say this whole run is divided into 10 segments for YouTube, because the upload limit was 10 minutes back then. But the whole run was done single segment, as Flazuki pointed out to me earlier. There is a full unchopped up video of this somewhere. But for what it's worth, the fact that he did have to chop it up, I'm glad he did it like on level transitions, and that there's a nice little playlist. You can just watch them all back to back automatically. So he seems to be having trouble here. I think he's... Yeah, he's lacking the knowledge that you can flame and then charge quickly. Like, and that's basically what allowed him to hit it there. But yeah, the concept of doing like a quick flame charge like that is something that has not solidified at this point yet for James. That means that anything that he hits with a flame is going to be, the gem is going to pop up into the air. It's not going to home in. When you watch my runs or most other 120 runners, we'll try to flame things but then quickly charge to confuse the game into thinking that we've, you know, charged into the enemy when we haven't. That's a very simplified way of explaining it. It's not exactly true, but we basically trick the game into thinking we charged something when we didn't. This is a technique that James does not have yet. Same thing with charge gliding. And those are two integral techniques to like actually, you know, optimizing this category. He did the casual glide there, you gotta respect it. Yeah, he's doing a full hop glide there, playing it as safe as possible. Slambo, thank you for the prime. Chugger's in the chat for Slambo. Yeah, it is cool that James uploaded these onto YouTube. I would have never known that this existed. Possibly no one would have ever known that this existed if he hadn't. YouTube was like probably, what, like a year old at the time that this video was posted. So it's not like it was like the quintessential platform to post a video at this point yet. There's still, like, just think of what, go look at the Wayback Machine and look at what YouTube looked like back then. Okay, I think this is some really weird routing, but yeah, he's coming back up this way. Yeah, it's because he didn't collect after grabbing the key and the dragon that's there. He opted to like go to the vortex instead of the bird, causing like kind of an annoying like weird reroute there. Whereas he could have left gems down underneath like towards the beginning of the level and grabbed them after the vortex, which is what we do now. So that way you're not just running in an empty space for like, you know, a few seconds. He was thinking about going for spin jump there. No, I doubt it. You definitely, I will say he does have trouble with just turning. You can tell that he doesn't really have a sense of being able to just turn like on a pivot. It's a very specific, if you've never played this game in recent memory, like I know a lot of you guys watching have grown up with this game, but if you haven't actually played Spyro 1 in recent memory, you may not realize how difficult it is to turn precisely. If you just point the stick like in the opposite direction or another weird direction that you're facing, then he'll do a turnaround animation, which James is trying to avoid, but he doesn't quite have the turning like down to a science yet, you know? He's turning, but it's not quick turning. Again, the full hop, you know, no charge glide. Normally we would just charge into that, but he's playing it very safe here. I'm sure it didn't even occur to him that you could like just charge into those chests to get them more quickly. See, again, all these fan chests we'd be charging immediately after the flame, so that way the gems don't pop up into the air. So yeah, that's Dry Canyon right there. Nice, beautiful, slow Dry Canyon. Yeah, that's right. Back then you give videos stars instead of thumbs up. That's true. Forgot about that. You guys think Spyro's enjoying this run so far? You liking this run, Spyro? He seems to be alright. You can hear the birds like chirping in the background from the game. From my game up here. So if you're wondering what that is, that's what that is. Spyro's digging it. Yeah, I think so. Okay, interesting. So he doesn't know that you can jump around the back. So he's going to be heading back there later once he unlocks the upper area. God, this is some ancient Clifftown strats. Classic. Even back in 2007, the fodders were causing issues. We're probably going for the thief right away. Makes sense. And again, yeah, having a lot of trouble, you know, and you can't blame him because he doesn't realize you can just flame and then charge really quickly and it extends the flame forward as you charge. He doesn't understand that concept yet, and neither do a lot of casual players of this game. I think the way he's grabbing these thieves here is very similar to probably how a lot of you guys would grab them casually. So it's not like he's doing a bad job, it's just he doesn't realize you can flame charge, basically. He's grabbing him faster than you. Yeah, honestly, if he's grabbing these thieves faster than you would have as a kid, yo, post a comment. Oh yeah, these guys get into a different position if you trigger them early and then run back. I forgot about that. Where is it? Yep, he didn't realize that he manually collected that gem, but if he had his sound on, if he was listening closely, he would have heard the double grab from the gems. But yeah, that is like some funkiness. Is like you'll accidentally manually collect a gem even when you have sparks, like as in like Spyro's body will go through and it'll just disappear instead of like collecting, you know, like normally from sparks. So that can kind of throw you off sometimes. That's why it's so important that you're using that you're listening to the in-game sounds, so you can hear when like a gem, you can hear that little sizzle when it like touches your body. You don't hear the sparks going like eh, but you do hear the like that. Oh, I mean, you know what? Honestly, this routing here is not bad. This is what we do normally. Hey, have a great night, Bex. Thanks for hanging out. We love you. Chugger's in the chat. You'd still be on Dark Hollow right now? Well, that makes two of us, because I'm still on Dagonauts. So I guess we both specialize in different areas, we could say. It's a RuneScape reference. Don't worry about it, guys. He seems to be grabbing these birds almost correctly. He did these two out of order. And again, notice that he's flaming them and then grabbing the gem manually. Whereas just jumping and charging through them would be faster, even if he didn't know about flame charging. Now he is saving that. I see why he did this bird route is because he's saving that last bird for later. What he's probably going to do is, yeah, collect some of these gems and then probably death abuse to get back up there. That's my guess. Or no, you could just take the windmill. I'm sorry, I forgot that this thing existed. You don't have to use this thing normally, so. With good routing, you wouldn't have to fly back up that fucking wind tunnel. And now he's gonna fly back up it again. I mean, honestly though, it is solid routing, you know, all things considered. You know, for not knowing. Like, this is a pretty solid route. If like you were to just tell a casual player to make up a route for this level, like this is not like the worst thing ever. It's obviously not optimal, but it should be done with the level after these two. And there's 400, he's out. He's really taking his time to make sure he sees that gem count in the top left. You gotta respect it. If you guys remember Saboom's runs or Chris's, like, sometimes they'd pause and exit a level, but they don't even take the time to, like, look at the gems. I still try, and I'm guilty of it too, because you just want to go fast. You just want to pause, exit, boom, you know? But it's the worst feeling in the world playing this game when you pause and exit without all the gems. Because you know that if you'd have just waited a couple frames, you could have seen that you had the gems and just, like, unpaused and gone and got them, you know? Every 120 player has to feel that pain at some point of, like, accidentally leaving a level without gems. Even though you totally could have just unpaused, you know? What's the final time? I actually don't know. If Lazuki's in the chat right now, do you have the final time for this run? I was gonna start my live split, but I forgot to. Again, just to reiterate, this run was done in 2007. Before, this is like, this is officially the first speedrun of this game. For a long time, I don't think another run was done until 2009. And then after that, it was like 2011, 2012. Runs of this game were very sporadic until the Twitch era. There wasn't really a speedrun community for this game until, like, you know, 2012. It was basically just this guy, James Bertoli. And then in the late, you know, the late aughts, you had players like Reese come along. And Crash 4156 and Spyro Jam as well. So yeah. And it's interesting because I think in the notes of one of Reese's runs from this around this era, a little after this obviously, in the notes for one of Reese's runs, he mentions that he was inspired by James and Spyro Jams, and he like took some strats from them. So if you guys are interested in me kind of looking at another like pre-Twitch era run of this game and kind of looking at how it's evolved from this, you know, we could do a whole little video series. Let me know if you want to see that in the comments down below, if you want to see me kind of extrapolate on some more of these older runs and see how they progressed, and then the pre-credit skip era. I think if I were to look at another one of these videos, I'd look at like another pre-Twitch era, like from Reese, like 2011-ish, and then I would look at a pre-credit skip run. So if you guys are interested in seeing the progression of this game, especially from my perspective in kind of long reaction format, let me know in the comments down below if you'd like to see that. If this video does well, I'll probably do that. Okay, what did he leave, I wonder? I guess he didn't do the inner cavern. I wasn't really paying super close attention here. Oh, he like, he grabbed the key and then ran all the way back. This is a really interesting route. He grabbed the key and then ran all the way back up to the upper area, and he's now completing the rest of the level. I've never thought about doing the level this way, but it makes sense. It makes sense. It's not the fastest thing, but it does make sense. The two modern routes of this level that exist involve basically going through the entire level and death abusing to get back to the key chest, or going to the end of the level early and doing the whole level backwards, which is what I do. but without a lot of like routing foresight. Like, you know, just as like a rudimentary route, I actually really appreciate what he did here. Grab the key chest and then just go back to the key chest early. I mean, he basically did the single death abuse route here without death abusing, essentially. So not bad. He's taking his time with these pulls. He knows, I think you can tell that he knows that you can sideswipe them and accidentally go into the water and stuff, so he's being extra careful there. You can tell from that movement. That's what I love about watching this game, is that you can really tell what's going through a player's head just by their gameplay. You know, he's just chilling, he's like autopilot right now, you know? And then you can tell when he slows things down to be more careful, you know? What's up, Norkson? Yeah, this is dope. I agree. This is a really dope run. I shouldn't have put it in full screen on my monitor right here because it looks like I gotta show you guys this. It looks fine maybe on the camera, but dude, it looks like if you were sitting here next to me, it looks like such turbo ass. It's fucking hilarious. All right, ice cavern down. I'm gonna drink some goddamn coffee here. We're also joined here today by Spyro on my TV back here. By the way, to those who are curious, this is my setup. Look how big that fucking TV is. That thing's massive. Like, seriously. 36 inches. Toshiba. Thing's a beast. Coffee drinkers in the chat, where you at? Thank you, Matt. A man of taste. This is like watching high school basketball after watching the NBA. Michael Jordan. Am I Michael Jordan? The Michael Jordan of Spyro? Or am I more like a LeBron? LeBron James. Cheers, guys. Well, that seemed like a particularly awkward cannon section. He collected a lot of extra gems that he didn't need to there. But that's cool. He did do Ice Cavern first, so you're supposed to leave, even in like a noob like route of Peacekeepers, you're supposed to do Ice Cavern last. But yeah, he's doing it kind of all out of whack. It kind of makes, again, looking at it from like, if I were just a casual and I didn't know any routes, I see why he went to Ice Cavern and then he's gonna do Night Flight after Shemp. And then, you know, collect the rest of the gems. He will have to grab that key chest, so he's gonna have to run back either way, though. That's why even on the noob route, we leave Ice Cavern to last. Because you have to run back from that key chest back to the balloonist anyways, so you might as well leave Ice Cavern. But yeah, that's right. Even on the newbie route, you would have to collect those gems early. That's part of why doing the early Night Flight route is really good, is because it allows you to leave some gems in the homeworld before, you know, like what he did before this level. Like what he didn't do, I should say, rather. You're a big fan of James Bertoli? Let's go. Flazuki, did you say the time that that he got on this run? 2:19:43, Flazuki said. 2:19:43. Oh, he's waiting for the whole cycle here. Yeah. So that, yo, honestly, that's not bad. Like, for a first run, you know? Like, that's really not a bad time for a first run, even for players nowadays. It's pretty impressive that someone, you know, pulled out a sub 230 with, like, no routing knowledge whatsoever. Like, I'm sure if James, like, think about it this way. If someone were to just tell James, like, if we were to time machine back to 2007 and just tell James, like, two basic things. Don't give him any more routes or anything. Let him continue doing this route. But just say, hey, flame charging exists and charge gliding exists. You know, and just to tell him that. He could easily get this route, down to, like, easily sub 2, maybe even sub 150s. With, like, watching all the credits and everything, you know? It's kind of crazy to think. Like, just with some basic, you know, no routing, no trick knowledge or anything. Just knowing some basic mechanics. Oh, there's a little kitty right here, guys. Look at him. Oh, Booby. Oh, you didn't want to be on camera. Cats hate being on camera. Come here, Booby. You want to be on my lap? Come here. Little lap. Look at him. Aww. The booby. If you're watching this on YouTube right now, type cat. Cat in the comments. Or C for cat. You'll get a heart if you do. So yeah, this is the part in Night Flight where normally the route would diverge a bit. It looks like he's just grabbing each like group of items individually, which is not how you want to approach this level. You want to grab some of the lights at the same time as the arches, but it's fine for the sake of a casual route. Like, it makes sense. Little meower. Meow man. Yeah, if you see that, you know, up above in the chat there, Horns mentioned that his first run was 3 hours and 1 minute, you know, and that's not even like that bad for a first ever playthrough, like full 120%. Yeah, it's not bad. And then once you like get some routes down, you know, mid 2 hours, you know, low 2 hours. So the fact that James, you know, basically with no routing knowledge, basically made up a route and got a 219 in 2007 is extremely impressive. And without knowing how to charge glide or flame charge, by the way. And, you know, I was commenting on the dragon touches earlier. It's hard to tell whether James knows that you can touch dragons in a certain spot to make them open more quickly, but it seems like he does know that. Honestly, it does seem like he does know. Yeah, and he does know about skipping flight animations as well. Yeah, I didn't even note that. He skips the he crashes into a solid object at the. I'll have to watch out for that on the next flight levels. Because yeah, he has done that in Sunny Flight and Night Flight so far, I believe, which is pretty huge that he knew that you can cancel the animation like that. He must have figured that out on his own. I would have never figured that out. All right, to Magic Crafters we go. Some birds chilling in the background. Are the birds annoying? They're not like too loud, are they? I can turn them off if you want. Get these fucking birds out of here, dude. Shut up, birds. Spyro's just trying to enjoy this run right now. Not trying to get interrupted by no birds. Okay, it wasn't annoying. Okay, nice. Oh, you like that? I'll bring him back. I'll bring back the birds. You know, this is a yeah, I feel bad taking them away. Let the birds be, dude. Let the birds be. Let the birds burb. Come on, man. Who am I to be a bird fascist? Let the birds burb. Oh, getting that guy early. Interesting. I guess he knew that that guy was probably going to be a problem later. Yeah, because he's grabbing... The reason why that guy's a problem for him is because he's grabbing these gems in the wrong order. If he literally just grabbed these gems like in the opposite order, then that guy wouldn't be a problem. But he doesn't know that. And he's waiting for this to hit. I remember this being an actual strat for a long time. Yeah, the offensive fan chest, yeah. Nope, little bird. Bird shout out. Alpine Ridge. So we're about a third through the game right now. Interestingly, we're already at part 5 out of 10 though. So I don't know. We're definitely not at the halfway point yet, but according to the YouTube playlist we are. Maybe we are halfway through. Maybe he gets faster in the end game. Maybe he's got Dayo syndrome. Oh! Oh man, I thought he was gonna recover that like all crazy. He still got him though. He still hit the guy. Yeah, if you just hold X there, like, you know, when the platform goes down, if you hold X while falling out of the air, you'll automatically get that roll jump. That rolling animation of Spyro rolling forward is supposed to be like the slide in like Mario 64, where like the game kind of takes control from you and like makes you slide down a surface it doesn't want you to get up. But like in Mario 64, by buffering the jump button, you can like confuse the game into thinking you're not on a unjumpable surface. And again, that's like a very like that's not a precise way of describing it, but that's just like the layman's, you know, explanation. Yeah, so this is not my oldest speedrun ever. This is the oldest speedrun ever of Spyro 120% by James Bertoli in 2007. 2007. This is like 3 years before Twitch even existed. Like, just think about that. This is 1 year after YouTube was created. There was no speed, you know, community for this game. Even just speedrunning, just the concept of speedrunning was like a very niche thing back in these days. So to speedrun like a 3D platformer like Spyro, you know, is pretty, like full game, let alone, you know, not just the flight levels, but like the full game. Is really novel. This is like a very novel like idea and concept. And then beyond that, to actually go through and like route like levels, like you can tell, even though these routes are rudimentary, like you can tell that James Bertoli did route out these levels. Like he has a plan in each level. He's not just like randomly like aimlessly searching about or anything. Like he's grabbing these gems, then these gems, and these gems, and then he exits the level, you know? So to have that like level of foresight and planning, it really just shows like a crazy level of ingenuity for the time period. This is before full game speedruns were even like really a thing in any game. Like think about that. Most games, if they did have speedrunning communities at this time, would probably focus more on individual levels. Like for example, in Spyro, the only levels that have a timer, an in-game timer, are the flight levels. So you'd think that someone in James's position would be like, should I speedrun the full game or the flight levels? He would probably ask himself that, for sure. And being the fucking Chad that James Bertoli is, he realized that the fun of playing this game optimally is not in just the flight levels, it's in the general movement as well. So why not do a full single segment playthrough? It's very forward thinking for the time period. I really can't understate that. It's something we just take for granted now, that like full game speedruns are like a hobby that people have, you know? But speedrunning in this form just didn't really exist back then. My first 120% time was somewhere in the mid 2 hours, like a mid 2:30 or something like that. But the first run I have highlighted, like that I have saved, is a 156 from November of 2014. Yeah, exactly, Horns. It's like kind of hard to tell. He does understand that some of the dragons, like you want to touch them a certain way, but like that last one he touched was not optimal at all. Or like one of the last ones he touched. So he doesn't know all of them yet. And granted, it makes sense, you know? I mean, like, you have to know the exact spot to touch for every dragon. It's a different spot for every dragon, so... Yeah, I think that's a fair assumption, that he knows that you want to touch, like, the dragons a certain way, but he only knows some of them. I think that's a fair assessment. Yeah, you can tell he is, like, thinking about it, though. Like, anytime he hesitates to do something, you can see the cogs in his mind working. Like, okay, I want to be careful here, you know, or okay, I want to do it a certain way, type of thing. Which, again, is like a lot of foresight for this era, you know? You would think that the first 120% speedrun would be just like a casual playthrough in a single segment. You know, a lot of people's first run of this game is basically that. But this is definitely what I would call a step above that. To where he, like I said, routed things out and is incorporating some, you know, rudimentary tricks. Now, notice how slow this section is when you don't understand that you can make these gems home in. You can't charge into these enemies, so what do? You just flame them, and that's what the gems just pop up like that. Interesting that he's grabbing these gems now. We'll see how this helps him later in the route. See, notice that he touched, so he knew that Cyrus, you wanted to touch him there, you know. It's really cool to like get like to look at someone's gameplay and like without even knowing them or having their commentary or anything. Like it's like kind of extra special that James isn't really around to like defend any of this nowadays, because we really have like, it's really just a raw analysis of what we only can speculate. And there's a lot to derive just from the gameplay itself in terms of what he was thinking. I don't know where he was trying. I think he thought you were supposed to touch him there, you know. You can definitely tell he's thinking about it. Yeah, a lot of times when you watch an old run like this, like the runner will be in like, you know, my chat or something, you know. And you know, and that's exactly what they would say. They'd be like, "Well, I don't remember why I did that," or like, "No, I wasn't thinking about it that deeply." But in this case, we don't have that. In this case, we have to just kind of like assume. That was a bad dragon touch there. Yeah, he like deliberately touched Ajax in like the wrong spot, which is pretty funny. So yeah, that's definitely one thing that's on his mind. Pardon? Yeah, was there something that you didn't understand, Cyrus? Did I say something offensive and not realize it? Am I canceled now? Oh, bad dragon. Yeah, I see. Yeah, like the dildos, right? You like using bad dragon dildos on your butthole, Cyrus? Is that like what you meant? Sorry, I just need the literal, like, you know, explanation. I'm bad with innuendos. I'd rather be in your end. Oh. Okay, so he's using the fairies to get back here. And again, this is a 10 segment. As far as I understand, this is only split into 10 parts. It has got to be more than 10 parts. Because we're already at part 6 and we're like barely halfway through the game. He was unsure about those boxes. That's funny. I've been unsure in that section too. Not with the boxes, but with the gems. Good hit on that thief. And of course, he doesn't know, like, in modern runs, we would skip the thief animation by flame charge jumping. Obviously, he doesn't even know... Obviously, he doesn't even know what flame charging is. I think he does understand skitter jumping, though. This is going to be an interesting thing to look out for. Does he understand that you can hold X going up certain slopes to move more quickly? Yeah, I think he does. He did a little skitter there. He was clearly holding X and square through that whole section. So he's gonna go this way. Okay, I guess he's gonna end on the fairy kiss, it looks like. Oh, that's a big time loss right there. He did not want that. What's happening? He just got lost right there. He had to just stop and just think. Yeah, maybe he was thinking about resetting there. Honestly, I would not be surprised by that. He had to really think, because there's a lot left to collect, and it's going to be really awkward routing at this point. Yeah, his cat knocked over a water bottle. So yeah, I think what he's thinking is like, he's going to go get this fairy right now, and he's wondering if he can get that other spider with the same fairy kiss, which, spoilers, he can't. I'm like almost certain that he can't. So he was probably going to finish the level after killing this second spider, but he'll probably just have to go back again for the fairy, or... Yeah, he's planning on going back for the fairy. Yep. But smart of him not to go, like, all the way down there and, like, lose the fucking fairy kiss. Smart that he knew that he wasn't going to make it back down there with the fairy, so he, like... I think that pause was him, like planning all of that. Oh, he's going this way, actually. Kind of smart. Yeah, that was some crazy, like, on-the-fly rerouting. Complete with, like, the 5-second pause to, like, ponder it. That was funny. Whoa, you hear that noise? The noise is, like, different. It must be some weird, like, recording artifact thing. Yeah, I agree, Horns. It's like, that's the most interesting thing about this run, is seeing, like, the cogs in his mind, like, turn with each, like, little hesitation, or, like, reroute, or, oh, I missed this, so what am I gonna do? Like, you can really... It's insane how much you can, like, see into someone's, like, mind just by watching them play a platformer. Yeah, he definitely did come up with that backup on the fly. He for sure meant to to supercharge through that last spider. This is the casual strat here, by the way. So if you didn't know that you could make that jump as a kid, post a comment down below. It's okay. I'm with you. That is a particularly awkward jump to like figure out on your own, just even casually. But yeah, that is the casual strat there. We don't do it in speedruns, obviously, nowadays, but because you have to go back. It's actually smart that he left this area to go all the way back through, because he knew he was going to go back through this area anyways. But he is going to have to go back through this area like a third time, because he's going to go back through here now and then grab the other platform. Lobster. We love lobster. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, this is another level where the casual routing is really difficult. This level and High Caves, I mean, it's easy to take for granted when you watch me play through these two levels. I mean, I still make a point about how difficult these levels are. I mean, the reason why Wizard Peak and High Caves are so difficult for a modern, like, speedrun of this game, especially at world record level, is because it's just trick after trick to avoid this kind of routing, basically. Like, if you're not doing, like, look at all this just empty space of running. If I'm not doing all the, like, the wizard proxy and supercharged turnarounds and, you know, different, like, weird, like, flame charge, you know, spider manips and stuff, it's like, there's just no way you're not gonna end up, you know, with just an empty section of charging. Interesting cleanup there. He's gonna climb back up, yeah. That makes sense. I'm like, what the fuck? You know he's thinking, he's like, that probably wasn't smart. He did not have to do that. He was scared he was gonna fall there. Yeah, definitely some S tier music. Yeah, so I've been getting some questions today. Is this my run, or is this is someone else? As you can see in the chat by James Bertoli. But if you do want to see my oldest recorded speedrun, which granted I wish I had an older one, but mine is from like a year into my speedrunning. I do have a video on my YouTube channel where I do a full reaction to my oldest recorded speedrun, which, hey, if I might do an updated reaction to that, actually, if you want to see that, let me know in the comments down below. I recorded that reaction back in 2019, and the chat, like, covers up, like, a lot of the game. Like, you think this is covering up the game, you should see that video. I could react to the reaction. I could do a reaction yeah, I'll do reactionception for that. That'd be tight. He fucking missed the box. Did you see that? That was tight. I think he missed the box, right? Am I tripping? I didn't hear it break. Where is James today? I don't know. I mentioned this earlier. Like, this James Bertoli sort of did this run and then kind of fell off the face of the earth. He does have some other gaming related videos on his channel, but he basically hasn't posted in like years and years. Nor has he ever been like on a Twitch stream or anything. Yeah, he has to grab that box again. He barely missed it. Yeah, whiff. The fucking whiff. Well, good thing he grabbed the fucking... Hey, it works out. I don't know what he was thinking with his routing, but it ended up working out. He had to make sure he got the red. You can tell he definitely doesn't have confidence in his gem collection here. He's playing extra careful. I think in his mind, he's probably thinking like, man, I'm on a good run right now. I don't want to fuck this up too bad. So he's just playing extra careful. Or maybe this is his idea of like playing optimally and not being too careful. But yeah, obviously by our standards today, he is being like overly cautious. Like he waited there for the enemy attack and then realized he could just do it anyways. Like, it's pretty funny. He touched Lucas on the wrong spot, understandably. Yeah, I mean, he knows he's on world record pace. That's true. Yeah, he probably has a wife and kids and shit. It's true. But it makes it extra fun to, like, analyze, because we don't have him here, like, clearing up the, you know... It's like, no, I actually meant this, or I was actually thinking this. It's like, it's a true, like, analysis, and, like, it's true speculation of, like, what he was thinking during this whole thing. I'm surprised he went for the key there. I would have thought for sure that he knew, even this early on, even as a casual player, I knew you could supercharge into the thing, but I guess he was planning that the whole time. Because he had left one of the metal guys there. The early express. I do that all the time, by the way. Yeah, that is interesting that he goes for the key. Even some of the earliest speedruns of this game do not even do that. And like I said, even me as a casual player, I knew you could supercharge into that. He's going all the way around here. Pretty cool. Going around the back. Damn, does he get Boldar Skip? He probably did not know that Boldar Skip existed, but he might have gotten it right there. We'll see. You can, to those who don't know, you can touch the dragon from behind the portal like that, and it's the only dragon skip in the game of its kind. If you got Boulder Skip, I'm fucking chugging this whole coffee. I'm gonna lose my fucking mind too. If this run gets Boulder Skip, that's crazy. That's crazy implications. I thought Boulder Skip was found in like 2016. I remember in the speedrun Discord when Boulder Skip was found. Really wacky route here. You can tell that his approach with flight levels is to do is to get each item in order, which makes sense because a lot of these items are. Oh my god, he's gonna grab the planes like following the direction they go. It'll be a miracle if he doesn't run out of fucking time here. But yeah, it's like this game's flight level design is a little confusing as a casual player because it like leads you to believe that you're supposed to collect each group of items in order, but then the way it ends up being is that it's better to collect some here and some there, and then collect these in order, and then collect those in order, like. So it's a little misleading like that. So I think he's doing his best to. He didn't do an animation skip there, by the way, but I think he did do one in Night Flight, possibly unintentionally. Yeah, I missed this. I mean, he didn't even go for an animation skip there. We'll see if he goes for another one later. Yeah, he did not get Boulder Skip. He probably didn't even realize he was very close to accidentally skipping that dragon. Pretty funny. Oh, smart to grab this guy, to grab these guys and then bring it down. This has been theorized in the past, is leaving that guy for later and then jumping down for those chests, but no one has ever been able to prove that to be faster. Though that is like a rerouting idea. Because then in theory you could just supercharge through the, you know, when you're going to Wizard Peak, you could just supercharge through the box and the guy and then just keep it moving. And then grab those after. It's just awkward to collect the wizard like that. I might play with that though. That is a reroute that people have played with in the past. I might play with it now that I've seen him do it again. Saving that wizard for later. I will admit, it is awkward grabbing that wizard, like, you know, when you miss him, it's like objectively like a fucking, it's a goose chase. And he is an easy one to miss. Yeah, so he did do the one in Sunny, and it looked intentional. Yeah, who knows? It's hard to say. Yeah, have a good one, Crazy Carl. Peace. You hear the bird? Caw! Caw! So I know I made a big deal about like when you flame, gems don't home in automatically, and with those last two wizards they do. Some enemies work that way, but the vast majority, the gem just pops into the air. Like you'll see here when he hits Blowhard. I wonder if there is a way to flame charge that gem. Usually with gems that aren't, like enemy attacks or whatever that aren't able to be flame charged, it's because their gem spawns too high. So I wonder if doing some kind of close-up like jump charge like we do with the armors in Haunted Towers would work. Opting to exit the level. In situations like this and in Toasty where you're right next to the exit level vortex, it is frames faster to go through the vortex. Just to those who are curious. That's why I do it. But exiting the level, basically just as fast. We're going to Beastmakers. So yeah, fun run so far. Pretty cool watch. I'm definitely excited to see, well not excited, but I'm interested to see if he'll go for an animation. So he'll probably unintentionally get an animation skip in Wild Flight if he ends it inside like one of the tunnel areas. What's up, Cameron? Welcome, welcome. Cool. Interestingly, this is basically the same route as what I do nowadays. Just done very suboptimally. Are emotes borked right now? No, they seem to work for me. Da-doom, da-doom, da-doom. Man, I'm getting pretty hungry, guys. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna have some chili. I'm gonna have some chili and rice. Or maybe some chili and some bread after this. Well, thank you, Stalker. Is that supposed to be like stalker? Stalker. Interesting play on word. Play on letters. Brad's tripping about the emotes over here. Hey, listen, Brad, you fucking relax, all right? You just keep posting the goddamn CJ. All right? And shut the hell up. Interestingly, he didn't go through the back first. I guess he's going to go back around now. Or maybe he's going to finish the level later. We'll see. He's like looking for missed gems. It is easy to miss gems in this area. Hard food for hard times. I mean, it's not really like that. I'm just hungry. This is James Bertoli. What's up, Chris? This is James Bertoli's speedrun from 2000. So did he get an infinite? Oh, God. If he'd have killed that guy earlier, he would have gotten stun locked on an infinite charge pad. Luckily, the guy reactivated the charge pad while it was in its infinite state, uninfiniting it. I don't even think James realized that he just saved himself like a fucking level exit right there by being slow, basically. And yeah, so it looks like he's probably gonna backtrack for the fireworks. My brain is starting to fart a lot because my tummy is a rumbling. Which makes sense. In fact, I remember, I think my first few runs I did that same thing too. I would like fly to the you can sort of fly to the other area at the end. I'll point it out when he does it. Nice. Crucial spot. He was thinking about the life, you could tell. He's like, ooh, maybe the life? Nah. Good man. Smart man. A true 120 gamer just skips a shit ton of lives. I gotta be honest, like, even for me, it's tempting to grab lives. Like, you have to avoid the temptation to grab extra lives that you don't need in this game. Even if you're not going for credit skip and stuff, it's just, like, in your best interest to not grab unnecessary lives. Unless you're dying a lot, obviously. So yeah, definitely some awkward routing here, running back around. But he has to do it this way because, like I said, he's going to be gliding from the tower to backtrack through the rest of the level. So it makes sense. But, you know, obviously it looks pretty bad. Like, there's definitely a lot of sections in these levels where he's just running through, like, basically empty space. Which is a lot of what we try to reduce, I think, in modern routing of this category, is just reducing that, just like those 5-second little sections of just running back through this area just to get to the next place, you know? Because there is a lot of that in this game. Like, if you with casual routing, there is a lot of backtracking. I don't know what the fuck that jump was all about. I think he didn't think... I think, yeah, he doesn't know you can charge glide, so he didn't know that you could just jump straight up to this platform. Interesting. You could probably do it without charge gliding, but... Yeah, that's funny. So talk about unnecessary backtracking, right? There's a lot of it, especially when you take like a more casual approach to routing this game, like James does here. He does have to go down to the area down to his left here, so we'll see how he handles this. Cyprin in French means vagina juice. Is that how you pronounce it, cyprin? Or is it like cyprine? Oh, that's weird. Huh. I guess he must have gotten those reds that were down there. Weird. Or no, there aren't gems down there. I thought there were gems in an area that there wasn't. I'm dumb. Okay, so no damage abuses, I'm noticing. James does not seem to realize that you can just charge straight into a firework chest to make it explode more quickly. Understandable. I didn't know that either until, like, I fucking watched actual runs. He's going to bog first, which is just a weird decision, but okay. I mean, surely he realizes that you have to run back through this area after cleaning up the... Well, whatever, you know. It's no big deal. No big difference one way or the other. Yeah, just objectively bad level routing as usual here. So, like, in Artisans, he went to Dark Hollow first, then Sunny... Town Square, then Toasty without the wall glide. So that was bad routing. Then in Peacekeepers, he went Dry Canyon, Cliff Town, which is fine, but then Ice Cavern, then Night Flight, and then the rest of the homeworld, which is less egregious, but still not, like, ideal, even for an easy, casual route. Then in Magic Crafters, he basically did the correct level order, but he did backtrack. He did grab the key for the key chest, which was a lot of backtracking. Just a lot of backtracking in this run, you know? For the sake of doing things like more casual. Oh, the gem dropped, but he did see the 5 there. Wow, that's cool. Did you see that? That gem fell off the edge, and he didn't see it collect, but he did see the number 5 there, so he was like, oh, it must have collected. That's pretty fucking cool. If that had been a void there, I don't know what he would have thought. You know? That was gaming as fuck. And the other thing is that sometimes that doesn't always happen. Like, if a gem falls off an edge, it doesn't always auto-collect. Sometimes it's kind of glitchy. Like, if it hits the wall first, then it'll have, like, the wall collision and get, like, stuck on the wall, or, like, land on the water but not collect, or land on the void and not collect. There are clips of that happening to speedrunners. It is possible for gems to fall off edges and not collect in this game, so... Though I doubt that James knows about any of that. He was probably just like, you know, like, what do I do about that? Okay, opting to go to Guanton first. That's alright, I guess. I guess it makes sense, kind of, not really. As long as he left the frogs in the other area to finish being cleaned up, I guess it makes sense. Yeah, let's see how slow he takes this area. Off to a fabulous start. Oh my god. And again, since he doesn't know that you can flame charge, these frog enemies are a lot scarier. When you can flame charge, like those frogs are no big deal, but since he's just empty flaming them, he is still playing a game of chicken with their tongues. So it's a lot more difficult. This is another reason why why casual players hate this level, but speedrunners, like, you know, still hate this level, but don't mind it as much. Speedrunners aren't dying here as much as a casual player because we understand the concept of flame charging. Like, it literally makes the game so much easier in situations like that. Even if you're not trying to make the gem home in, if you just flame and then charge from afar, those frogs are completely trivial. But even in the big room there's so many of them that you'll still get hit and shit, so whatever. Alright, well, he's cleaned up the entire top area at this point, which is not what any modern speedrun would do. So he is likely going to be ending near the vortex. Interestingly, grabbing these first. I remember I used to grab, like, or maybe, I don't remember. Maybe I used to grab one of these guys. I always used to have trouble with, like, landing in this area in the right way. You have to do, like, a weird curve down, so it's kind of cool that he knew to do that. You don't remember ever being mad at this game? Yeah, well, that makes one of us. I was salty as hell on my early loot run today, which I did complete, 211. But I want to get the sub 2 soon. Ideally, I'd like to get that categories down to like at least sub 140. Like basically, it just comes down to like how fast you can do early loot. Oh, kitty! Hi, kitty. He's down here.
I was gonna say it's been an
Hi,
hour.
booby.
So you didn't do yours.
No, not even in Dreamweavers yet. Nope.
I've been therapized. I am healed.
Oh, nice. You had a good session?
Yes.
Yeah. Everyone say hi to Sarah.
Hello. You don't love this. She's gonna get me to stop the cyclical talking when I get upset.
That's good. I think that's a good tip for you.
It might take a minute.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I'll
let's-
point it out when you do it. Like, it's cool. If you want me to.
Yeah. You do a good job of nicely redirecting me. Like, let's talk about something else. Like,
Yeah.
oh.
It's easy. No, I don't blame it because I do the same thing, especially on my runs. Like, if I'm like pissed about something, I just tend to like just talk about it like over and over, like in circles, and just kind of like just make myself crazy about it for like no reason. Because in my mind, it's like, oh, well, I'm just venting. But at a certain point, like you only need to vent so much before it's just like it works negatively against you to dwell. There's a difference between venting and dwelling, you know?
Yeah, she has like a list of cognitive distortions, like catastrophizing, illusion, stuff like that, and seeing like those specific things is helpful to. Oh, there's a name for what I'm doing. Being like, oh, I gotta stop that. And I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good at that at this point.
She calls that cyclical talking.
Well, the specific one that I do, yeah.
All right, well, at least he got out of Bog without sparks. At least he didn't take an unintentional death. That's probably a big W for him, actually. Unironic. I mean, there was a time in speedrunning this game, I remember, where every runner just hated Bog. Like, it was, like, unusual for you to have a deathless Bog. Tuval's split, I remember, for Bog was just, like, a guy flipping over a table, like that little emote. Hi, Cheddar.
He's purring. He's in a very good.
You little Cheddar.
Cheddar says this run is slow as fuck and he could do it faster. Did y'all see that clip of him playing 120%? Playing the controller, you remember that?
What?
He was doing a run with your controller.
Cheddar?
Yeah.
Oh, cute.
clips. Why are you so zoomed in on Spyro over here?
Because he's watching, look at the thing here. He's watching the run. Yeah.
When I heard you say that, I thought you were talking about a Spyro plush.
Mm-hmm.
Which I finally got my U2s that has eyebrows, guys.
Yeah, we have a bunch of cute Spyro merch here. I had to leave a bunch in Missouri though. Like, you guys don't understand. I get sent so much Spyro merch just from like, you know, or I just accumulated over the years from like fans and as gifts from, you know, whatever, birthdays, whatever.
Hooray is watching. He's dancing without one.
Cheddar making me look like a chump. Oh, get the awkward boats there. See, that's a big thing with the routing in this level is avoiding that awkward. That situation is oddly common where like the boat, you have to like pick between the boat and the arch. It's like really frustrating. It does look like he got them all. Now we're gonna be paying attention to see. He's probably gonna do an animation skip. He's probably gonna do an animation skip, but it's probably not gonna be intentional. So. Aw, he's a little plushie. Yeah, they sent her one of those without eyebrows. It's funny. Okay, here we go. And yeah, animation skip. But I mean, like, again, like, he didn't have to do anything to trigger that, so I'll venture so far as to say that that was probably unintentional.
They were like, what do you mean he doesn't have eyebrows? And I sent him a picture on Twitter, and they were like, please send a request to support. I was like, that's what I thought, bitch.
Okay, interestingly, he did know that in order to trigger that wind tunnel, you have to run away and then back. So, which that's actually really that's impressive game knowledge for 2007. I know that sounds like such a benign thing, but like trust me, like any one of you guys casually will just be like running, we're like, what the fuck? Why doesn't it fucking, you know, where's the wind tunnel? You have to run away and then back. And he seemed to just know that.
He knows all. What's this guy's name?
This guy's name's James Bertoli.
Does he make pasta?
No, the brand of pasta is not named after him. Or maybe it is. Maybe he's from the same family. Maybe that's what, instead of speedrunning Spyro after making this video, he went on to become a professional pasta maker.
My great, like, aunt is a mont, like, mont's applesauce. So get your applesauce from me, y'all. I have to hook up. I'm not kidding. It's true.
So this is weird. It looks like, I'm guessing he's gonna, I don't know how he's gonna get back to that other area unless he just goes back down now. Or just takes a death abuse. Because there are still more things for him to collect in the beginning area, which he should have collected. So we'll see what he decides to do here. Okay, going for these. Is he gonna jump down early? Okay, he's gonna bonk. Very advanced strategy here. He's having trouble. Do what? No, I've never bonked. Bonk your booty if you keep talking to me like that.
What if I want you to?
Well, that works out then. I will bonk your booty. Okay, so he did the full casual turnaround here, which is pretty cool. I'm pretty sure that is the developer intended strat for that section. So that's pretty cool that he did that. Yeah, using like 4 different jumps to make that circle. Looking for lost gems. Yeah, he took the intended route. Although even when this, you know, there's like, I think evidence of developer interviews that like, that even when they were making like this level, that developers found multiple ways to like, you know, get to that other island. Okay, accidental death right there. He got supercharge fucked. He got sort of flopped off the edge there. Gonna finish up this island. This is just straight up. I don't mean to be mean. Like again, this is like he came up with these routes on his own. You can definitely tell that he is like definitely not figured out his own route here yet. You know, this is he's the routing at this point is feeling very aimless.
Do they like know where the original routes came from? Were they based on this video or?
Kind of. Kind of. I mean, we'll have to watch other runs to see what they take from James's run. I think pretty much most runs of this game pre-Twitch era were based on James's route. This run. I mean, but you know, the thing is that this game, for a lot of levels, like you could take 10 people who've never played this game and be like, all right, find a route for this level, and they'll come up with something generally similar. So it's hard to give James the credit of like finding every route for some of these levels, even if they do more or less resemble the modern ones, because it's like it's just more pertinently he just came up with these on his own, and you know didn't have the luxury of of using any reference materials to come up with routes.
I would say that finding a route is more like finding something that's not obvious. Like, you have a specific route on the Twilight Harbor, but that's not necessarily the developer intended kind of obvious direction the game tells you to go. You wouldn't take credit for that. You can't say that's yours.
His wild flight was good. He got the boats and arches together. Yeah, I mean, yeah, but to be fair, he did kind of fuck up that one boat. Like, he didn't have, like, his plan wasn't, like, that dialed in. But yeah, you're right. Compared to the other flight levels where he was just grabbing each item individually, he realized that, like, you know, they wanted him to collect the boats and the... You know, you can't... with a level like Wild Flight, you really can't, like, collect the arches individually and then the boats. It's just, like, it just doesn't make sense. I think he's just trying his best to just do what makes sense. And for some of these flight levels, it makes sense to him to just grab things individually, and in Wild Flight, like, you know, it makes sense to collect some boats while collecting the arches, you know.
Yeah, did this particular runner go on to upload any more, or is this
No.
a one-off thing?
No.
That's interesting.
I don't know what he's doing right now. I think he's trying to figure out how to get back to the, to get on top of the... This is, like, definitely the most, like, aimless level so far. He is... Like, whatever route he was thinking, he is fucked up. Like, he's definitely a little lost right now. So now at this point, he's going back to the supercharged ramp to do the casual charge through here. Go to the right. Yep. Yeah, he's starting to get a little lost here, I think. Whereas other levels, he had a more clear plan. This one, he has basically no plan. Which again, it's fair, you know, it's the first ever like real like recorded run of this game. So it's fair if some levels he doesn't have a plan. In fact, I was surprised that like some levels he really did have a plan, you know? That surprised me. I was like, wow. Like the fact that there is any actual routing at all like is fucking impressive for 2007, where again, full game speedruns weren't even the norm. A full game single segment playthrough of a video game like was not like, even amongst speedrunners was not like commonplace. It would be like ILs or segmented like segmented runs or things like that.
When he did this run, you probably still had a squeaky voice.
Yeah, when he did this run, I was in 7th/8th grade, 2007. So that was like, yeah, the year, you know, 7th and 8th grade.
You were a booby.
Uh-huh. At that time, I first learned about YouTube poops when this run was done. I was like 13, 14 years old. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Sarah's naked, like right over there. But you guys can't see. Haha. Oh. 5:14. Yeah, me and Sarah are gonna be going to a like a electronics warehouse after this to pick up some furniture and probably not a TV. We're getting a TV for cheap from the homie for the living room. But we might pick up a second monitor for her computer since that'll make streaming a lot easier for her. Yes. Oh. This routing was done for a long time, actually, where you would grab those and then fly back to that spot. I remember seeing people do that back in the day. That was kind of a blast from the past for me. He didn't realize that you could just let those guys keep rolling and the gem collects automatically. He's like, all right, let me charge through both of them. It's unnecessary. Oh, you guys getting sleepy? I'm getting pretty sleepy over here. Yeah, I know. Maybe I'm crashing after this. Need to drink more coffee. Okay, he's being careful here. He knows these guys will fuck him up if he's not careful. He had an unintentional wall glide. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I didn't even notice that.
Do I look like a Dayoman girlfriend wearing the tie-dye? Is that what Dayoman's girlfriend would wear? Tie-dye.
What's the time at? I have no idea. I should have started a timer before this run, but I did not.
You started right before my therapy session started, so it's already at least an hour and like 15 minutes.
But I don't really have a lot to say about this metalhead. This is a pretty linear level, so there's not a lot to say except that he should have grabbed the key chest first before going into this area. But I don't blame him for not doing that. He might just grab it later or something, or after this section he'll grab it. Taking some damage. You gonna run back? Tell he was thinking about running back there. You could. I think his routing is a little confused at this point with that key. He knows he has to go get that key chest. You can do like a pretty tough wall glide from up here to get it. I doubt he'll be doing that. This jump is also really hard, just casually. Yeah, you can like barely make that with without charge gliding. So I'm glad to see he hit that pretty solidly. He does understand the concept of, he has to go get the fucking... Look at this. Like, just clearly, like, dumb routing, like... He's like, oh fuck, like, you know, and you can see him like looking back towards, okay, should I go back now? Should I go back now? You know, it's like just should have gotten it first. So yeah, definitely starting in like in Beastmakers and Treetops basically is where like I think his route planning is starting to fall apart a little bit. You can start to see like, you know, and he's like probably what we say like an hour and 20 minutes into this roughly. Like I think the general level of focus is probably deteriorating as well. You know, if he has a rough outline of some levels, you know, and he's not super duper focused, he knows that the guy will talk to him. That's funny. He like really grabbed that gem from afar. That was smart of him not to grab the gem right away when he didn't know that you could just like manually grab it while talking to the guy. So that's a nice like sort of like alternative strat there. Yeah, so we'll see how his route. Yeah, definitely horns. We'll see how his routing is on like levels like lofty and haunted. I suspect it'll be like, I don't want to say just bad, because obviously like a lot of these routes are bad, but like it's about whether it's like purposeful or aimless is kind of like what I'm looking at. Just to get a sense of like where his head's at with some of this routing. And it's gone from purposeful to like more aimless, you know, as we've gotten through Beastmakers. Interesting to finish collecting all the gems there so that the wind tunnel activates. Yeah, it's interesting. I never thought about that. Because that jump, to do that jump without the wind tunnel is like fucking super annoying. Still way faster routing wise, but annoying. Oh, that's what activates it? It's when you grab the balloonist gem. Interesting. Yeah, again, there would be no reason to grab that unless you, you know, routing-wise, it makes sense to end the homeworld on that gem. Grabbing those blues early, but not grabbing the other ones. You know what he's probably going to do? I guarantee you when he exits Haunted, he's going to collect the gems in that other area and then take the 3 wind tunnels back to the starting area instead of death abusing. Which is, you know, when I explain it like that, it's like obviously death abusing would be faster instead of sitting through 3 wind tunnels, but in this run, he doesn't do any real death abusing, I've noticed. No intentional death abuses occur in this run, which adds a lot of backtracking. And, you know, it's surprising because for as well thought out as some of his strategies are, the fact that he does, like, for example, that he knows maybe about, like, animation skips in flight levels and like the way to touch dragons and stuff, like more minute like optimizations. It's surprising that he didn't think to do any death abuses. Dude, I could go for some fucking Indian food right now. The chili and rice will have to do. Chili and rice and some fucking raw onion with some lime on there. That'd be delicious. Oh yeah, we can do sausages. The thing is I'm gonna be done watching this, like, and we're gonna have to go like immediately. So I'm only gonna be able to just heat up some chili real quick for myself. Unless you want to do a sausage. Yeah, we can eat when we get back to it. It's all good. No worries. Ugh. Gotta plan meals with my girlfriend. Ugh. I'm just kidding. She's like, what? I never let Sarah go hungry, by the way, just so you guys know. I'm a good boyfriend. Or at least I try. I don't know. We always got something in the fridge, you know? Yeah, he is not going for the permanent super plane first, which it does make sense. It would make sense to do that. What? I mean, it just makes sense. This kind of gameplay just makes sense. Okay, he's like probably looking at his life count right there, I'm guessing. Yeah, we can't fuck on an empty stomach, it's true. That's why I gotta make sure she's fed. Now he's going for it? Yeah. Yeah, this is like the casual way to get to the early fairy without doing wizard proxy, which I'm sure you guys are used to me doing. He tried to make that glide, I think. Maybe. He was hoping that that glide... And that actually, technically, if you do that jump a certain way, you can make that glide up to the shelf. It's still not faster than doing wizard proxy, but... It's an interesting optimization that maybe he was considering. Or maybe he was just being safe, I guess. Could be another explanation. Yeah, you may not like it, but this is what peak performance looks like. True. Alright, there's our fairy number 1 ho, Wally. Mwah. It is you. The player is James, and by the way, just apologies to people on YouTube who are watching right now that have heard me explain this like multiple times now, but the player is James Bertoli. This run was done in 2007. The first ever recorded Spyro speedrun and de facto world record. Yeah, James, to those who are curious, James is no longer active. Really hasn't ever been active in Spyro speedrunning. Even since the time I joined, I've never seen a chat or a message from James at all. So, he pretty much did this run and then fell off the face of the earth. Or fell off the face of the internet, rather. Interesting routing. I guess he's going to try to end at the vortex, is what he's going to try to do. Ideally, modern runs would actually backtrack through the level and, like, all the backtracking that he's done so far, like, you can basically do while collecting gems. So, any backtracking where you're not collecting gems in this level is basically suboptimal routing. So we end this run, like, basically at the beginning of the level. Where is he fucking going? Is he really trying to do a supercharge right now? Why? Literally, why? He could just flame the fucking... What? Oh, he's going here now. Literally, what? How is that, like, the right way to go? That was, like, such an obtuse way of getting there. Yeah, again, speaking to the fact that, like, on the first half of the run, he had more purpose in his routing. Now he's, like, more aimlessly freestyling his way through things. And that movement there was a great example of that. That was just objectively bad, no matter what way you slice it. Okay. Yeah, because when he ran back up the fucking charge ramp, I thought like he didn't realize you could just flame through that door. Such odd routing. And it's just like, honestly, like, look at how slow this movement is when you have to just manually collect the gems out of the air. Like, this is what you have to do if you don't know about flame charging. And flame charging is not an easy to master strategy at all. But this is what the casual experience, like, without flame charging looks like. It really slows the pace of gameplay down a lot. Especially in levels where there's, like, a lot of big enemies like that. Okay, so now he's going to collect these and then go through, collect these, grab the dragon, and then go through the wind tunnels. Not realizing that it's, like, obviously faster to just death abuse back to the beginning area. He's going to take the wind tunnels back, is what I'm guessing. This is old school. Yeah, 2007. How old were you guys in 2007? I was, like, 13, 14. I think. I was in 7th/8th grade. You were 3? Alrighty, on to Dark Passage. What's up, Lord Vorsalon? Welcome. I'm pretty sleepy over here. It is 5:27, so guys, I'm not gonna lie to you, I might have to fast forward through some of this run. Because we have to go shopping. I told a guy at a warehouse that I'd be meeting him in like half an hour, so I might have to kind of skip through some stuff here. I thought this run would not take that long, but it totally is. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is skip to the I'm gonna watch Lofty is what I'm gonna do. Let me head over to Lofty here. Okay, entering Lofty. Let's see how he does Lofty. And then I'll probably skip forward to like Nork World. So I should have planned this watch through a little better, but you know, like I said, if you guys are curious to see more of this, to see more sort of taking a part of this run or of this game, or if you'd like to see me review the end game in more detail on Patreon, you can follow that down below. Just let me know what you want to see in the comments, and I will do it. I will do it. But for now, I think we've gotten the, at this point I think we've gotten the gist of like the general routing and stuff. Though I will kind of fast forward through some of this. He is cleaning up this island early. Waiting for this guy. So yeah, basically, yeah, he has to collect all the fairies here for this. Grab all this shit. Let's see how Turkey Island goes. Let's see if he gets fucked up by the turkeys. I mean, pretty boring all in all. And look at all this, like, this backtracking here. Like, just no gems, just nothing. This is what we try to avoid with modern routing. Like, I've made a point about this a lot, but you see a lot of this in this run of just, like 10 plus seconds of running back through an area with no gems, you know? That's why we do the routes we do, so that that doesn't happen. As little as possible. Whether it's from death abusing or, you know, going through an area a certain way or skipping gems in a certain area. It's all thought out. Oh, he's doing it this way. I haven't seen someone do it like the intentional way in a long time. That little turnaround. When you have optimal charge, supercharge speed, it's actually hard to do that circle. He's probably gonna end the level here. All right, nice. All right, let's skip forward a bit more here. I'm not gonna watch Jock, but I will skip forward into Nasty's world. Oops. Look at the thing over here. Let's watch this. Okay, so he's getting out of Nork Cove right now, which I'm sure was a total fucking mess. Going to Twilight Harbor. I'm just gonna kind of skip through here. Looks pretty normal so far. Now, again, this is another level where death abusing would be in his best interest, so let's see how much backtracking he does. He does grab Cletus. Grabbing all this stuff. Let's see how he does this supercharge area. Okay, he is cleaning all this stuff up early, which is smart. He should grab those yellows as well, and then oh, he's looking for gems back there. I think it's because there's a life there, and so he thought that there were maybe gems back there. Talk about his like lack of knowledge. Now here would be the spot where you would have death abused instead of running all the way back. So again, just like making that point again that like we're trying to avoid that sort of thing. Now he's supercharging through again, and again running back through for another, you know, missed death abuse opportunity. Like, literally with death abusing, this run can save, like, minutes. Yo, Indian Runner, thank you for the sub, appreciate it. Let's see how he goes ahead and finishes things. Yeah, thanks, Indian Runner. Hope you're having a great day. Let's see how Nasty Nork looks. Let's see how he does on these thieves. Because these thieves are oh, nice! Literally, his movement is getting better as the run goes on. You saw that flame charge he did right there. That was probably the best flame charge I've seen him do. Even though it didn't, like, make anything home in, it like, still was the best example of the technique I've seen. Let's see if he does a similar thing here. Oh, he's like not, he's just going straight for the guy and then backtracking for the gems. Interesting. All right, let's go through this nasty chase. Let's see if he has to do a second lap. Yep, he has to do a second lap. And then here we go in this room. Now he will, spoiler alert, he is gonna flame Nasty here. Credit skip was not found at this point, obviously. Credit skip would not be found for another 6 years after this run. Think about that. Credit skip was found 10 years ago. And this run was recorded 6 years before credit skip. Think about that. Crazy, right? So you have to watch, so in this era of runs, you have to watch the entire credits, and then you can go into loot. Spyro the Dragon, and this is like the final loot cutscene. So yeah, that's basically the gist of it. That's the whole run. Now, I will say again, I did have to kind of rush the ending a little bit. But yeah, if you guys want to see me kind of go into more detail on this ending section from Dreamweavers forward, I can totally do that as a Patreon only video. I haven't updated my Patreon in a while, and if you're watching on YouTube, you made it all the way to the end. Thank you for being here. Type a little cute comment in the chat again. C for cat for Cheddar being on the fucking run, but either way, let me know what you want to see, or if you do want to see more of these in the future. They're really comfy, kind of fun little insights into the mind of a speedrunner, and you know how I interpret other runs and what I can kind of glean from them. I feel like I have some valuable insight with some of this stuff, and if not, then at least I'm comfy chugging my coffee here. So if you're chilling, you're comfy, you're enjoying your coffee or whatever drink it may be, not alcohol this time. But if you're drinking alcohol, that's fine too. I will catch you guys, in any case, in the next one. Stay cute, keep on spyroing, and chuggers in the chat. Cheers.